All right, everyone, welcome back to another Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade video. So, the JP side just posted this image, basically announcing that the Shibuya incident is going to be continuing on 7/24. And with it, they posted this little picture of Choso. So we could expect in the story mode on the JP side, at least, that the new update is going to get up to that point in the story where Yuji fights Choso, which is very, very exciting because directly after this is what happens is the uh, you know, part of this would be Toji and all that, but the big meat of the potatoes is right after this, Yuji gets knocked out and Jogo feeds the fingers to Yuji, therefore releasing Sukuna, and that's where the big Shibuya incident kind of begins. So it kind of seems in my eyes that the second anniversary on JP is in fact going to be Flame Arrow Sukuna and Maharaga, perhaps, hopefully. But we'll see. We'll see. First and foremost, though, Choso. I believe this is the first showing of Choso in the game, and it looks like to me. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this looks more like Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade art more so than like it being from the anime. I think this is redone. It doesn't look 100% right, but. That being said, I believe Choso is coming out. So naturally, I decided, hell, well, this seems like as good a time as any to make a Choso kind of character concept. So I made him older brother Choso, and he's a standard unit, as well as I gave him the yellow typing. Now, the reason why I gave him the yellow typing is kind of not much of a good reason, more so than that's just what I think he's going to be. Because, like, look at it here. We got green. Blue was not too long ago. And then red. And yellow, the latest yellow unit on JP is Shoko. And, hell, Global has that. So I think we're overdue, I would say, on JP side to get another yellow unit. I think Choso would probably be a good pick for that. So with Choso, I made him a attacking and combined role, and he's a death painting. And I do want to preface this before I go into it. This is just kind of like, this isn't what I'm saying that I want them to do Choso, just more so like an idea I would have for Choso, because obviously, you know, this is his fight with Yuji in the restroom. At least that's what they kind of showcase here. For all we know, this could be like a support memory, and I could be just way off on everything that is coming out with this new Choso. But with all that out of the way, let's just go right into it. He is going to be kind of a combined unit, more so with a focus on Jujutsu. But hold on, let's zoom in a little bit. So, first skill I have is a Bloody Strike, kind of as you can see, where he encases his fist with the blood, kind of hardening it a little bit, deals combined damage of 150% melee taijutsu damage and 100% melee jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. Very standard stuff, zero cursed energy. One of those moves that you would definitely be using if you're out of cursed energy, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. I mean, it happens, but, just a standard move. Keep in mind as we're going forward, he is going to be a standard unit. And all those character concepts I made for those previous units were kind of beefed up just a little bit because I imagine we weren't going to be getting those for a while. But this is a much more feasible percentages that we're going to be seeing with this Choso coming out. So the second move I have would be a bloodied sword, which he uses for 2 seconds in the anime. He goes to slice Yuji. Yuji kind of blocks it, and then the water in the room just kind of evaporates his sword. But I think it'd be really cool to kind of see it. It's a kind of a sick move. Made it 15 cursed energy. Deals a combined 300% melee taijutsu damage and 200% melee jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. Inflicts laceration to enemy. I think the only character in this game that has that currently is Sukuna. But it'd be cool to see different characters get in, different not just different characters having it, but also different typings and stuff. So this would give some yellow characters, a little bit of laceration on them, so that'd be nice. Chance to inflict a critical hit would be large because it's a swords. It just kind of makes sense to me. Next up, we have the move that kind of really screwed up Yuji like midway through the fight is Blood Meteorite. I put this at 30 cursed energy. If you remember, it's like not necessarily piercing blood, but it's like a very hard, very condensed like amount of blood that he kind of hid away in his like shirt pocket or whatever. And as he's fighting Yuji gets close and he's able to launch this, and it really catches Yuji by surprise, which is kind of what I have here. Is deals 800% Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. I guess I should add ranged Jujutsu damage. Chance of critical hit being large as well. Increases own break damage by 200% one time because it's a surprise attack. Also deals disruption status to enemy for 2 turns at a 40% chance. So I definitely think this is a solid move. And let's see. Piercing Blood is the ultimate. I'm sure most people would kind of expect that. It's a Choso. Piercing Blood is kind of the end-all be-all for these what would I say, these blood manipulation users. And this one's a bit more standard, a bit more cutthroat. Just a solid 1800 range Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy, which I feel like that alone is like enough to kind of carry this ultimate. That's no laughing matter of a damage calculation, as well as getting a chance of critical hit large. I think I put critical hit large on like every single one of these moves, huh? I think he's just that kind of a guy. Like, he's got surprise attacks. Like, you never know what he's going to pull through next. Like, you saw that Kamo guy, and he was just kind of doing the, like, super simplistic, like, you know, most you'd see was piercing blood, and, like, you do the slicing exorcism thing where he, like, makes his blood into, like, a shuriken or whatever. But that's kind of it, all that I really remember. If you rewatch this Choso versus Yuji fight, like, actually, I'm serious, like, go rewatch it right now, and you'll see just how many, like, bag of tricks that Choso had, like, at his disposal. Like, honestly, they could go any which way with this guy, like, and I think any of them are, like, solid options. Like, again, this move that I used right here was only seen in the anime for, like, 2 seconds, and he never used it again. But then, like, there's other moves he has. He has, like, a blood blade that he summons and stabs Yuji in the foot. Again, he uses that one same move again later on, trying to like stab Yuji in the restroom, but the blood kind of evaporates because of the water coming down once again. But there's also one that I thought was cool. Like, he shoots blood from the down at Yuji as he's on the ground, and it's like these blood spikes, kind of pretty much. Dude, honestly, they could go so many different routes with this guy. And I kind of tried to include as much as I could that I thought was cool. So, like, honestly, this piercing blood is great and all, but, like, I could see it being, like, you know, they could do Blood Meteorite as his ultimate. They could do what I'm about to show next, because there's a little bit more to this guy, as his ultimate. And I think any way that you put this guy together, he's just going to be a cool unit. He's Choso. Everyone loves Choso, dude. So, piercing blood. Chance to inflict bleed to enemy. I don't know if we have a bleed in the game, but I feel like we should. 40% chance 3 turns. So this is what I was talking about. Another move that they could have used as like Choso's ultimate. If the enemy attacks Choso, if there's an active blood drop counter, activates counterattack supernova. Deals 500% Jujutsu damage to the selected enemy. The more blood drop counters, the more damage it deals up to 1,500%. So that's like that's some biggie damage. That's up there with the ultimate. But like, we'll get into it real quick. You know what the supernova was these little blood drops that he had floating around, and when Yuji goes to attack, the moment Yuji attacks, like these blood droplets just explode and they send like super compressed blood, like mini piercing bloods out in every direction. They're like kind of blood grenades is what they were. I think he even uses this in the fight in the manga against I guess I shouldn't spoil it. There's probably anime onlys, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I think this would be a great counterattack. It could also have been a good ultimate, honestly, but we'll get into how the functionalities of how this works. So blood drops. Gain 1 blood drop counter every 2 turns up to a maximum of 3. That's all it is. Just basically, he spawns these little blood drops around him every 2 turns, and if he gets attacked, if one happens to be there, it deals 500% Jujutsu damage. If there's another one, it would deal. If there's 2 of them, it would deal 1,000% damage. Maybe that's a bit much. Yeah, let's do 12. I feel a little bit better at that. 400%, 800%, and 1200%. I feel like is a little bit more balanced. So, I mean, if Choso doesn't get attacked for 6 whole turns, he's doing 1,200% damage. So, but odds are that's not going to happen. It's just kind of an extra little damage deal thing. I do like the idea of Supernova, and I just kind of wanted to include it in this. And I do hope that whenever this Choso drops, that he has some sort of supernova move, because I see it. I remember him using it a lot in the manga. So, Blood Brothers. This kind of is a situational one because we currently do not have an Eso or Kichizu in the game, playable. And I feel like we should. And I feel like at some point we're going to get them. So I kind of made this preemptively. If you happen to have those guys on the same team, just all those guys will get a 50% Jujutsu damage buff. And I feel like that's pretty standard. I hope that this is something that we could see with them. Hopefully soon. It's not like I'm crazy or itching to play as fucking SR Kachizu. No, definitely not. It's just one of those things where, eventually they're going to want to start adding these smaller characters as SSRs and whatnot that you can summon. Once they get all the hype stuff out of the way, they're going to add some filler characters, and I feel like those guys will be one of them. So, in addition to that, I also had a death painting auto skill. I forgot to mention, I didn't write it in, but these are auto skills. Yeah, so death painting, I feel like this is kind of fair. With the death paintings, they are a little bit more versatile with their cursed energy and their health, because what they're able to do is kind of turn their health into cursed energy, like their blood. They're able to turn their blood into cursed energy and vice versa, turn their cursed energy into blood. So if HP is below 40%, chance to recover own HP by 3,000 at a 40% chance. I feel like it's pretty fair. Or honestly, I'll even buff this up to 50%. I think that's fair for just 3,000. 3,000. That's pretty good. Dude, I might just get rid of this HP thing. Yeah, I think I will. Chance to recover by 3,000, because 3,000 isn't a whole bunch. At a 40% chance, I feel like it's pretty solid, pretty standard. I feel like that, I think Sukuna has a chance to recover 6,000 HP for just nothing. So I think that's honestly kind of solid. And if cursed energy is below 20, chance to recover own cursed energy by 10 at 50%. At 50%, I think that's pretty fair. As well as being immune to poison. Dude, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 90% sure that all these death painting guys are immune to poisons. I don't know if I'm right about that. I could be wrong, but I feel like something about that in my head just tracks. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I feel like this is ideal, what I would kind of hope to see in a Choso, especially in this fight with Yuji in the bathroom, where he's kind of very melee oriented, and yeah, dude. Yeah, I hope this is what they go with. Something very similar would be really cool. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this Choso concept? And are you guys excited that it appears that he's going to be coming to the game? Hold on. Actually, I think I had one last thing. Yeah. Right here, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I was really hoping that, if they do the recollection, if he is a banner character, I hope they make this his recollection bit, because I think that would just be really, yeah. Actually ending it this time. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.